What is going on? How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a good week so far, and I hope everybody's having a good day so far. Anyways, we're back with another Penn State video. It's been a little bit since we've done a Penn State video, and you guys show me massive amounts of support on every single one of them, so I greatly appreciate you guys. As you know, I'm a Penn State fan, so love covering this team. One of my most covered teams on this channel, so if you are a Penn State fan, then after this video, if you do enjoy it, I greatly appreciate if you did consider subscribing. But we're gonna get into some recent news over Penn State because Matt Campbell. Ever since the Matt Campbell hire, we've seen the recruiting slowly start to build up. Very slowly, but it's getting there. You're starting to see some heavy recruiting from Matt Campbell and the staff. And one of my favorite hires that he brought in was Noah Pauley, which was the wide receiver coach. And he's making some heavy pushes at some very good wide receivers. One in particular committed to Michigan State, and Penn State is trying hard to push him, or trying hard to flip him. I'm sorry. They've been trying very hard to flip him, and we're gonna talk about him, run some stuff by you, kind of give my thoughts and opinions, and just kind of get you guys to be familiar with this player because I think it will be an outstanding pickup for Penn State. And this is a guy who, as soon as Matt Campbell came over, we started hearing about this. We started hearing that Penn State is going to be trying to flip him because he didn't sign with Michigan State on signing day. So, there's an open market there. And Matt Campbell has heavy interest. Noah Pauley has heavy interest. And that guy is Samson Gash. Samson Gash, wide receiver from Detroit, went to Catholic Central in Detroit. And he's a four-star recruit, highly ranked, very highly ranked, actually. He's around the number 46, 47 receiver in the 2026 class. One of the top players in Michigan, as you can tell, he's the number 6 player in Michigan. He was long committed to Michigan State, honestly. But like I said, he didn't sign during the early signing period, which is very strange. He's reevaluating his options, and Penn State is actively they just hosted him on a visit a few days ago, so there's some interest there. There's some very heavy interest there on both sides. It's mutual. He's elite. He has elite speed. He's elite in the sprint game. He's a track star. He's a guy who ran track at a very high level, and I think he holds a state record in track, I believe, for something. I'm not too familiar with track, but I do know that he's had some incredible track stats. So if there is anybody that is into track and you do know, let me know in the comments. But he's known for his game-breaking speed. Like I said, playmaking ability is very high level. He, it's going to translate to some deep threats. And Penn State's really lacked that deep threat throughout these years. You haven't really pushed the ball downfield, which I think you're going to be able to with this new coaching staff and with a guy like Rocco Becht. I think you'll be able to push that ball downfield. I think Samson Gash will fit very good in that system that you see on offense, or that you're going to see on offense in these next few years at Penn State. And talking about an athlete, he also plays DB. So he plays both sides of the ball, super versatile. But obviously he's not going to play DB in college. Going to be more that wide receiver guy with the breakout speed. If you look at his high school numbers, he has multiple games over 100 receiving yards, 139 versus Clarkston, 110 versus Clarkston North. I'm just reading off some numbers here. He had a strong junior season, 42 catches for 731 yards, averaged 17 yards per catch, which is very big, huge. And I think that's something that could translate over to college because, like I said, super quick, very quick. He has burners on him, and he can turn those burners on at any time. Like I said, visited Penn State. They're showing heavy interest on both sides, but it's still a battle with Michigan State and some other schools. Other programs like Georgia and Alabama have also shown interest recently, and Georgia being the main one. I think he's visited Georgia, maybe not, but I do know that Georgia has extended their offer, and they've made a push for him as well ever since he kind of reopened this commitment. Now, when you look at his family ties, his father is Sam Gash. Sam Gash is a former Penn State fullback back in the 1980s, 1990s, and he's a former NFL player. Played for the Patriots, Bills, Ravens, earned 2 Pro Bowls, and got a Super Bowl ring. Then you look at his brother. His brother played DB at Michigan State. So there's two ties there that kind of lean both ways. But man, if you can bring in Samson Gash and let him get developed by a guy like Noah Pauley, because when you look at what Noah Pauley has done at Iowa State with his receivers in that receiver room, it's some high level stuff. And he hasn't had high level talent to work with. He hasn't had high level talent like Samson Gash to work with, because I think that Samson Gash is a high level receiver, and I think he would be a massive pickup if Penn State can go out and land them. But yeah, man, I would absolutely love this for Penn State. I think he fits the system perfectly, because you kind of see what Matt Campbell runs in with his former staff at Iowa State, because they pretty much all came over. They've always worked at an elite level. They were just not able to recruit that talent over at Iowa State. Now they're at Penn State. They're at one of the top Big Ten schools, so they're going to be able to recruit that type of talent over to Penn State. It's going to be easier to get talent over at Penn State than you did at Iowa State. So seeing those guys develop lower level talent at Iowa State into what they were and into what they became is super intriguing to see what these guys are going to do at Penn State. I think Matt Campbell, obviously, when you do look at what Matt Campbell does, Matt Campbell and his coaching staff really, really settle on, I guess you would say, player development, which you've seen at a high level, like I've mentioned many times. So yeah, man, once you get this higher level talent and give them a few years to really settle in, I think this Penn State team is going to be very good. And I think Samson Gash, if I had to make a prediction right now, I think Penn State ends up with him. Maybe I'm wrong. If I had to make a prediction right now, I think Penn State ends up with him. As you see, he is committed to Michigan State. If you look right here, Penn State is warm now. Noah Pauley being the main one. Now, Penn State has 15 receivers on the roster. I believe some have gone, but there is a pretty heavy receiver room right now. And you are also looking at guys like Khalil Taylor still being heavily recruited. So Samson Gash is going to have to be willing to come into a pretty crowded receiver room with a lot of young talent, when you could look at guys like Kobe Howard and some others as well. I think you're going to come here and get developed if you do. That's all I'm saying. Man, I think this would be a massive pickup. So I know I rambled a lot, but if you did enjoy this video, I greatly appreciate it if you did consider subscribing to the channel. I am going to keep giving you a lot of Penn State content, because that's just what I like to do. So if you are a Penn State fan, be on the lookout for that. I have a few videos lined up that I'm going to start posting. I'll start covering a lot of the coaching staff and stuff, because I do think it's a very good coaching staff and a very underrated coaching staff. But yeah, man, for this one, that'll be it. Drop a comment in the comment section over what you think of this and what you think Matt Campbell has done so far. What are your opinions on what Matt Campbell and this staff has done so far? And do you like the direction they're going in recruiting? I personally do. But yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you guys all have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.